Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Nichijou episode 15. Yes, last time we have a continuation of a plot that I was very happy to be applied into this anime. I am so happy to see now Nano in the school and interacting with other characters that is not the professor. Again, I love the interactions between Nano and the professor. Those are very funny, but seeing these characters that we have been built up, that we have certain knowledge about, being participating with another characters that we know about too, and they are very likable. All of them are very likable, and it's a jewel. It's a jewel to see this possible interaction. Not just see the interactions, but the possibility of the interactions. So yeah, I am fascinated by this new plotline that the show has taken. I am completely in love. And some of the irrelevant parts, or what I thought it was completely irrelevant, like the football, I think it was Football Go or Go Football. I don't remember the exact name of this game. Kind of become a little bit more relevant because now that club has a member that really knows what is this sport or game or whatever you want to call it about. So yeah, we have development in certain areas that I was waiting and really praying for it to happen, and we have development in other areas that I did not even think about. So yeah, that is fascinating about this anime, that is not just random jokes, but something there even more entertaining that you did not expect. Yes, I love that. And yes, you kind of see all that love in my previous reactions, obviously. When it was announced that Nano was going to go to school, I was just so happy to see that. But anyway, yeah, I'm starting to ramble in this introduction. Let's just cut all of this and watch the episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the 15th episode of Nichijou. And yes, we kind of have progress into the point in which Nano is kind of getting still used to the school, but not as a foreign as we saw her in the last few episodes. But in the last episode we just saw the first day, and in this one we saw a more common day for Nano. Yes, of course. The suspicious of Yuko that she is actually a robot, which is weird that Yuko is right for once, is still kind of funny, and the way she tries to prove it that yeah, she must be good at math because come on, it's kind of a computer, so therefore Nano should be good at math. That's the point. That's the point that Yuko made. Of course, we saw that the professor programmed a lot of stuff in Nano, but I don't think that she programmed being good at math onto her. Why? Because the professor is a genius, so yeah, it makes sense for her not to need a calculator. She needed something else. We saw how other stuff that Mai brought to Nano that's trying to prove that yes, she's a robot, like oil and a monkey wrench. But of course, those are things that probably Nano asked for because yeah, she needs to repair something else, something in her house. Perhaps that's why she asked for them. And of course, kind of the confirmation for Yuko and Mio that, well, she's actually not a robot. Unfortunately for Nano, a piece of her was falling down when she was drinking soup, and Mai filmed that. Again, Mai surprised me by her dynamic because her dry attitude is the best humor that you could ever ask for. It's wonderful, wonderful humor. Then, of course, we have obviously the shenanigans inside of the scene, kind of the baseball reference. I don't know why baseball, but anyway. And then we kind of met better, of course, the kind of weird science that we saw in the opening. Not in this episode. I don't know why this episode didn't have an opening. Perhaps it's just the file that I download, but anyway. We saw the professor, and actually, well, not the professor, we saw the scientist. Now we know she is a professor in the school. And yes, at the beginning I thought it was a dude. I wasn't completely sure. He kind of sounded like a dude. She kind of sounded like a dude that looked like a dude. But of course, it was a girl. Anyway, we saw that she was making coffee, and of course, it sounded creepy the way she spoke about Nano. And it turns out, yeah, it was that. It was that creepy in the end. And first she tried to capture Nano by offering coffee with a tranquilizer. Obviously this won't work on a robot. Unfortunately for the professor, she poured the tranquilizer in the coffee, in the main source of the coffee, not just on the coffee for Nano. So yeah, she ended up kind of drinking the tranquilizer and collapsing on her laboratory, on her school laboratory, of course. Then of course we saw kind of a, I don't know if sad or contemplating scene with Nano, that she saw two kids playing monsters against robots, and she remembered her rocket hand. And yeah, kind of weird moment, but I don't know what to think about it. Then, of course, we saw the continuation, the asking the professor to remove the key. Obviously, the professor didn't want to do that, and we discovered another function from Nano, a weapon on her right hand. Luckily for the professor, or at least the professor was smart enough to not put bullets into that weapon, just kind of pebbles, I don't know what the hell to call them. But yeah, kind of funny reaction because yeah, the professor still do some weird stuff with Nano's body, and every time some weird stuff happened with her body, she was shoot. The professor was shot by by Nano. There was no one else. Not deadly, of course, but it's still very, very funny because it was kind of increasing into ridiculous levels. We return to the rice cake fair again, just a single stand. But now the rice cake mascot was speaking. Of course, the owner or the seller of the freaking stand didn't want that and hit the freaking, or the poor actor there twice. Anyway, we go back to the professor in the school, and she's going to use more drastic measures to counteract the consciousness of Nano. Again, yes, it sounded creepy the way she was speaking in the first sketch. This is the confirmation that it was completely creepy because yeah, she wanted to kidnap Nano and study her. Again, very, very creepy. And she was going to use short circuit Kun, which is basically a taser. A cute taser, but a taser nonetheless. The fun part, and what I was suspecting, is that yeah, she wasn't going to get Nano. I was actually thinking that perhaps the principal or the vice principal were going to be captured by the teacher, but no, it was our Mohawk student. And the reaction, or the lack of reaction from the professor that just saw this poor guy lying unconscious on the floor of her laboratory or her classroom and just running away like the wind. That brings so much joy for me. So much joy for me. Anyway, we saw that. And of course we saw the cute girl with the ribbon, and we saw Nano going to the laboratory, of course. Then we return to our nervous... I'm sorry. It is still hard to comment the next part because I just keep remembering the teasing part. Give me a minute, please. Oh, God. Oh, God. let's continue. I can't. Oh god. Relax, relax, relax. Oh, jump cut. Yeah, I couldn't stop laughing about that. I laughed like a solid 2 minutes just remembering that part of the episode. Sorry about that, but I really couldn't stop laughing myself. Anyway, yeah, we go to another place in the school. Again, a lot of the school into these few episodes, in this one, in the last one. A lot of the school views, let's say. But yeah, we again saw the nervous professor reprimanding another student, but in a more casual and with more confidence this time. This kind of student, oh yes, you should just button your shirt up to the top. And yeah, so say, oh come on, this is not. Yeah, it was a very normal banter, not very usual for this teacher. Obviously, the other teacher that we know that is in love with this one, it's kind of disbelieving that all of this is happening. He cannot understand how the teacher that is so shy could be speaking to this guy with such confidence. And yeah, it was weird, not only for him but for us. I honestly thought that he was her son for a while. I don't know why I keep thinking that, but yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, yeah, we saw this struggle, the bottom kind of breaks, and yeah, we hear something ridiculous, that actually the teacher is the shovel in their house. And I love the first image that came to the mind of the professor, of male professor, is that here in a Chinese dress. How the hell did he arrive to that conclusion? Hell, he even said so himself that, yeah, this is stupid. How the hell do you call someone disheveled when she's wearing that pristine Chinese dress? And of course she imagined something else, something more normal, more common. Which is actually very, very cute, and he was very happy with both images, the Chinese dress and the more normal, the shovel, well, present, let's say. So yeah, he was very happy with both, but he was still kind of doubting because yeah, he believed that they have a kind of secret relationship. He was so jealous, but at the same time happy because he discovered something from this other teacher. We cut the scene with the dog of Mio, which didn't last long, but I love that dog. It's so energetic and so cute in that moment. And we return with the teacher. Of course, this is a continuation of the scene with the science teacher. The student, the Mohawk student, Nakanojo, was kind of unconscious on the floor of the science room. And the teacher is in conflict because he wants to keep observing the other teacher, the female teacher, the shy teacher. But his responsibility as a teacher is telling him that, yeah, you should go and help this student. And he is going to the extreme, or perhaps he's faking being asleep. No, his pupils are not visible. Draw on them, and yeah, the poor girl is kind of in conflict. Wait, what the hell is going on? And yes, until the end, how can I abandon this sexual misconduct in the school as a teacher? Again, this sounded more like an excuse than anything else, but in the moment that he discovered that actually that other boy was the little brother of the shy teacher, that's when everything changes. Like, oh yeah, it's okay then, let's go and save the other student. Yeah, this scene is ridiculous by the way it changed. The interchange between the teacher and the student, the boy, girl, and of course the in love teacher. That's the funny part. But again, the change in the teacher himself. Oh yeah, okay, it's fine. Let's go help somebody else. Uh, Obviously, the way I describe this scene is not very funny. You need to see, this is a lot of visual jokes, let's remember that. So, yeah, it's a lot more fun once you watch it. We have several kind of shorts, kind of intermissions. Yeah, the baseball manager, I guess that is the baseball manager. Again, I'm following kind of the tropes in the sports anime. But yeah, it's kind of the cliche here. We get another joke from Yuko that, yeah, she wants to push the button to stop the bus and get down. Somebody else push it. And she's pretty normal until arriving home. Once she arrives home, she asks for a day-by-day calendar. And she's trying to kind of pulling every single page out of it in her fury. Again, short jokes. Then we return with Nano and the professor, and this is something weird that was going on. I'm going to speak about these weird kind of 90s reactions in anime. Yeah, this is very 90s, in which every single character overreacts to a joke or something silly. Yeah, it's, again, very 90s. And Nano was doing that. It's okay, kind of weird to see these reactions in this anime. I thought it was just an homage. We wouldn't really be seeing anything like that. We wouldn't get an explanation about that. And I was going to speak about, oh yes, and this segment was kind of an homage to all the 90s show with the overreactions. But no, actually they acknowledge it in the show by saying that, yeah, instead of removing the key, by using several poses, I will took your key. The reactions of Nano were actually something that the professor planned. That, oh yes, I installed some reactions in you. And yes, every single reaction was so ridiculous. And the only purpose of that is, well, to the amusement of the professor, like everything else in the body of Nano. Yeah, and of course the last overreaction that she just shoot herself into the freaking stratosphere. I don't know how high she arrived, but yeah, she was very high, like a freaking rocket, like a spaceship. We have short thoughts, of course, the extra hair outside of the mohawk that always a student have, our shock student, and of course our extra scene, in which of course Oil was the one who presented the next episode. So yeah, again, a lot of school environment in this episode, just like the last one, but we focus more on, actually we didn't, well yeah, kind of focus on Nano, because we have of course our initial joke about her being a robot, the two jokes with the professor that kind of happens around Nano, but we have a lot more of the teachers now. We have 3 teachers in this case. We have the science professor, we have the shy professor, and we have the Yuko and now Nano. I don't know. One of the professors, the one that gave them 7 something to Yuko. Yeah, we have a lot more school, which is something I wanted. And honestly, the jokes that were in this show in this episode were amazing. Especially the one in which I couldn't stop laughing for like 2 minutes. And yes, when I said 2 minutes, it doesn't sound like that much. But really, try to laugh for 2 minutes about something. It's not that common to be laughing that much at the memory of a joke. So yeah, that speaks volumes of that joke. Oh, I don't know if it speaks more about the joke or about me. Anyway, yeah, again, we're focusing now on Nano in the school, which is something I wanted, which is something I really appreciate in this show. I don't know if we're going to expand a little bit more with the rest of the characters. Again, I want to see the professor in the school. Obviously not as a student, because she wouldn't fit as a student. She's too little in age, let's say. But, and not as a teacher, again, it wouldn't fit as a teacher either. But like kind of in a weird parent-teacher reunion. That will be hilarious to all the parents, kind of normal-looking parents, and then we saw the professor very young. So, oh, whose little sister is this one? And actually, oh no, I am Nano's parent or mom or whatever you want to call it. That will be hilarious. Anyway, I think I exhausted the topic of this episode. A very fun one. Again, the joke that I couldn't stop laughing. And yes, I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, see you on next one. Bye.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video, and yes, thank you so much for your attention, guys. As always, if you want to leave a comment, that will help me a lot more. If you want to give me a like, that will help me even more to get on the top of the recommendation for YouTube. And if you want to share this video, that will help me even more. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.